well as compliance systems that institutions rely on. What's your take on that?
That's a long question, but I want to bridge it back to what was just said on stage, because I think it's so important. And we've said this, I totally agree, for years now. Beyond the hype, I've heard that already 3 years, and then we had a lot of hype, and a lot more hype. But I think this year, also for us at Evident, has been a real turning point. I just want to spend some time on this, because this is for me the most important thing to take away from sessions like this. So we are now, we found out after registering our total value locked on chain that we are the largest tokenization platform in Asia. And guess what we tokenized? Assets like private equity, or investing into SpaceX, to Hong Kong pre-IPO companies, to investment into infrastructure, into private credit. My point is, this is already happening. Our clients are all institutions. The issuers are asset management firms or big GPs who are selling their stake, secondary market players, and the investors are private wealth investors. So what's important here is, I think a lot is happening under the surface that we're not aware of. Private markets are also called private markets because it's still about privacy, right? You don't talk about transactions as much, and this is why we don't disclose everything that we do. But there is a lot happening where this adoption is real, and as the last point I will make here is, the sign for me that we are reaching this tipping point now is that no one talks about it anymore. I sit in meetings regularly where our clients say, you know what, you could do this on blockchain. And we say, yeah, we do it on blockchain. We don't just, run into the room screaming tokenization. No one cares. It's just a piece of technology. But coming back to your question, which is related to that, yes, there's a lot of boring elements in that value chain that are really important. Custody, again, a term that comes more from the crypto space, is very important there because in the traditional on-chain crypto space, not your keys, not your crypto. It's a bearing instrument. And if someone takes control of your keys, then the asset is gone. If you talk about real-world assets, it's very different. So custody for real-world assets, the technical question of key management is very easy, if I'm honest. And that's straightforward, easy to solve. That's just technology. What's important is actually how do you fulfill your fiduciary duties? How do you connect that digital representation that I mentioned in the definition earlier to that asset in the real world? You still need to have a function of transfer agency, accounting, reporting. You still have your fund administrative functions. So what we did at Evident was first trying to partner. And then we saw, okay, this doesn't work. Because anyone in the space knows, the fund admin runs on systems from the 90s. They're total silos, and they will tell you, I cannot do this, or that. So what we did on the question of custody is actually what Elon Musk would call, go back to questions of first principle. First principle in real-world asset tokenization is the law and the regulations. So I probably read the Hong Kong Limited Partnership Fund Ordinance 15 times. I think it's actually quite interesting, because then you can figure out how can I fulfill those fiduciary duties in a new way. Because everything else is tradition. Everything else is just a recommendation of how the traditional industry is doing it. So what we did, we built our own. We're basically our own transfer agent, our own fund administrator, just 50 times more efficient, because once the data is on blockchain, it's immutable, you can trust it, then you can release tools like AI on top of that. And fund administration, custody is basically rules and mathematics. It's perfect for automation, it's terrible for humans because it's boring work. So I think this piece is totally underestimated, but this is where a lot of the unlock of what you mentioned earlier would happen, right? Access, efficiency, downstream liquidity, which we can talk about later. Those bits and pieces, that heavy lifting needed to be done, but we're there already. This is already happening.
Thank you so much, Florian. Maybe to just follow your words, right? Let's peer underneath the hood, right? Let's connect custody to the broader chain. How does tokenization force an evolution in post-trade settlement? Are we looking to patch an existing system or completely rebuild the whole plumbing? Maybe to take this question up.
Thank you, Laura. I think using the existing system is a dream that will not happen. We will need to build something new from scratch. So we built a digital platform in the late 2022 with about $1 trillion issued on it. And again, I think what's very important is technology. We talk about technology, but who cares about technology? What we want is something that is more efficient, that is resilient, where you have the trust. We're talking about money, we're talking about investments, we're talking about pension funds. So it is the money that you save that you want to basically make work so that you have a better life going forward. What's your risk appetite? Probably different for each of us. When we talk to customers, the two things they look at us: trust, business resilience. Nobody asks us which technology are we using. Are we on the cloud or are we not on the cloud? But it's clear that we need to embrace new technology. If you don't embrace new technology, you're going to die. So we need to move together with the space. And we know that DLT works. Does it work at scale? It's to be proven. Same-day settlement, real-time settlement, atomic settlement. We've done that for 20 years. What's new? So nothing is new, in fact. It's the rail that we can use in the future that will be different than the one that we've used in the past. Today we're connected to 50 different countries. Well, that's unified kind of ledger. What you look for as an investor, if something goes wrong, where do you go? And that's where we may debate about DeFi versus not DeFi, because you need to have someone that you take the liability about protecting your assets going forward. Asset protection is really something that is very, very important. And it's even more important today because as we move more towards cloud, it becomes much easier for external parties to access the environment. So being protected against hackers in the line becomes the top priority for us. So the world is changing and we need to just move along with this technological evolution. But I fully agree with Florian, is that one of the issues we have today in the old banking is not really the technology, it's the quality of our underlying data. We can use AI, but AI is leveraging databases with a lack of quality, but the result is not very great. So we move into a smart contract type of environment, and indeed the quality of data should be better, to be proven yet still. If it's the case, then definitely we have a combination of two technologies that will help the financial industry globally to move forward at a much accelerated speed versus today.
Thank you.